I've been eating 190 grams of fat daily. That's the equivalent to 2 sticks of butter a day. Now, I don't actually eat 2 sticks of butter a day. In fact, of the 190 grams of fat I eat daily, only 16% of that fat comes from butter. And there's a very specific reason for that. So in today's video, we are going to cover where the rest of my fats come from, why I eat so much fat in the first place, and we're gonna get butter in our hair today. And we're back, okay. We're gonna talk about why I eat so much fat in the first place, as far as how it's impacted my hormones, mood, skin, energy, and my body composition. But most importantly, we're going to talk about how you can start realistically adding more healthy fats into your day and how to do it where it's not going to cause any nausea, bloating, or an afternoon glued to your toilet. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name's Lily. I'm a certified nutrition health coach, and on this channel, we talk about eating real foods so we can feel real good up our hair. So if you're looking for more strategies for living your healthiest and happiest life, then don't be silly. Subscribe to Lily. All right, so let's get into it. Why do I eat so much fat? Actually, 65% of my total calories come from fat, 25% comes from protein, and 10% of my calories come from carbs. And I've been eating a high-fat diet for 5 years now, and a lot of us were taught that if you eat more fat, then you'll gain fat. And yet, I've eaten over 3 million calories of fat. Yes, I did the math on it. I've eaten over 3 million calories of fat over the past 5 years, and yet, I don't look like Jabba the Hutt. So clearly the idea that fat makes you fat isn't as black and white as we've been led to believe. In fact, fat is essential for our health. It's what our bodies use to build our hormones, support brain function, regulate blood sugars, help keep our mood and energy stable. If we don't eat enough fat, then we may be hungry all the time. We might experience brain farts. Hey, who keeps putting all these fart sounds in my videos? If we don't eat fat, then we may be foggy, irritable. We may feel out of balance because we literally need to eat it in order to stay alive. It is that important. Now, let me just say, I do not think everyone needs to eat as much fat as me. I don't think that people need to eat a high-fat diet in order to have optimal health, but I will share the things that happened to me when I started fueling my body this way. Let's do it. First of all, my grandmother, she unfortunately passed away from dementia, and it was one of the hardest things to witness, seeing someone's mind slowly fade away. And while I can't say that eating a high-fat diet guarantees I'll never develop Alzheimer's, at least for me, eating a high-fat diet has significantly improved my mental clarity and focus. I no longer have sugar crashes. I'm telling you, I used to crash every afternoon. You know, those like mid-afternoon slumps where you just want to take a nap or have a snack or have some caffeine just to survive the day. Yeah, well, that doesn't happen anymore, and I actually feel full and satisfied. I'm not foggy in the afternoon, and I can actually go hours without even thinking about food, which is really awesome. My energy and mood have just become even keel throughout the day, where I no longer have the peak in energy followed by the crash. I feel like I am less irritable, less snappy. I just feel calm, focused, and in control. Yeah, as in control as I can be, okay? At least my energy is stable. Stably high. Eating more fat has also helped me with my skin health and my acne. I used to struggle with a lot of acne, and over the past 5 years, I have done different experiments where I take away some of the fat, bring in some more carbs, and every time I'm like, what the heck? I'm turning into a pizza face over here. So I have no problem having more fats for my skin health, especially when I already love the taste of fatty beef and eggs and butter and bacon. So it's like a double win. I also no longer have to put my feet up on the wall with the heating pad taking a bunch of Advil on my menstrual cycle because I have 0 cramps, literally none. And my menstrual cycle is finally regular for the first time in my life. 0 PMS symptoms, no breast tenderness, no more sugar cravings or emotional outbursts where I'd cry a bunch before my period or get super irritable, and no cramps, which That's my favorite. And lastly, eating more fats helped me lose weight, which I wasn't trying to lose weight. I actually at the time didn't know that I had weight to lose. It wasn't until after I had started eating a higher fat diet where I was like, oh, I'm less inflamed, I'm less bloated, my body just looks leaner, my blood sugars are more balanced, I have less cravings, and overall it just reshaped my body composition. Fat became my secret weapon to just feeling more grounded, nourished, and at peace with my body. Plus, fat makes everything delicious. Now let's break down where my fats are coming from. And actually, the majority of the fats I eat are coming from beef. Specifically, 60% of my fat calories are coming from 80-20 ground beef. 16% comes from butter, 9% from pork chops, 9% from eggs, and 6% from full-fat yogurt. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time explaining why this is, since I made a full video explaining why I eat these particular foods in these specific amounts, so I'll link that video in the description, but I do want to emphasize why so much more of my fat comes from beef instead of butter. And this is because I'm not eating the beef for its fat content. I'm eating it for its protein and iron. Butter's pure fat. It has a little bit of vitamin A, but for the most part, with beef, I'm getting protein, iron, potassium, selenium, zinc, and other vitamins and minerals that I can't get from butter. And so if I were to eat 1,000 calories of beef or 1,000 calories of butter, I'm getting a lot more out of the beef than the butter. Now, with a lot of my one-on-one coaching clients, which yes, I do offer one-on-one coaching, there's a link in the description, but with a lot of my clients, they think they're eating a high-fat diet, and yet they're avoiding egg yolks, they're eating lean beef, and they're still having cravings, crashes, and low energy. So I'd ask myself, still using lean meats, avoiding butter, bacon, or cheese, snacking often instead of staying full between meals, experiencing constipation, having irregular menstrual cycles, or craving sugars and carbs midday. If that's you, then you may not be eating enough fats. And now that said, this is where some people hear that and then they try and double their fats overnight, and then they may experience nausea, acid reflux, heartburn, and spontaneous dates on the toilet. And I know this seems like too easy of a solution, but especially for people if they experience acid reflux and heartburn, my best advice would be to slow down when eating, because I too used to be like a Dyson vacuum when I would eat my food and I would inhale my food so quickly. So rather, by slowing down, chewing our food more, this can really help with acid reflux, heartburn, and overall our digestion. Another tip for people who don't feel like they're digesting their meals is, personally, when I have a big fatty meal, I don't drink water with that meal, or at least I try to avoid it, because fat and water tend to separate, and I don't want to be putting a bunch of fat in my system with a bunch of water and trying to digest all that at once. So rather, I try to just avoid drinking a bunch of water around my fatty meal. Another option would be diluting a little bit of apple cider vinegar in water before a meal. So maybe 30 minutes before a meal, I would drink a little bit of ACV with some water, and that should help with aiding in digestion. We used to pour a little bit of apple cider vinegar on top of our ground beef. It makes the beef taste like mustardy. It's quite delicious. Or in general, if someone's feeling like they're not digesting their meals appropriately, they're experiencing a lot of bloating, gas, runs to the bathroom, digestive issues, well, our bodies use enzymes to help us with breaking down our food into nutrients. And so this is where something like taking enzymes could be helpful with digesting food. This is the product I recommend, which is Biooptimizer's Masszymes, which has lipase in it that can help break down fats and help our body absorb fat-soluble vitamins. It has protease in it, which can help break down proteins, break those proteins down into amino acids. It has lactase in it, which can help break down lactose in dairy products. Masszymes has 16 different enzymes in it that can help break down proteins, fats, carbs, fiber, and overall for people who experience indigestion, bloating, or feeling very heavy after their meals. This is where something like enzymes can be very beneficial. My father-in-law is a chiropractor. He preaches about enzymes. He loves them. And personally, I've been taking enzymes with my meals for a long time now, not because I experience indigestion or stomach issues, but because I would like to extract more nutrition from the foods that I'm eating, and something like enzymes can help with this. Bioptimizers is today's video sponsor. They don't just have enzymes, they also have HCl, hydrochloric acid, which is really great for digestion. They have an awesome magnesium product. And so if you'd like to check out any of Bioptimizer's products, there's a link in the video description where you can get 10% off, or you can use discount code Kane at checkout for that 10% off. The literal strategy I personally used to increase my fats without experiencing any negatives, without experiencing runs to the bathroom or being nauseous or having stomach issues, is I very slowly increased my fats. Meaning I took what I was typically eating in a day and I made one small change to add a little bit more fat. For example, if I was buying 93.7 ground beef, I started buying 90.10 ground beef, and I did that for a couple of weeks. After a couple of weeks, I started buying 85.15 ground beef, did that for a couple of weeks, then swapped to 80.20 ground beef. After a few weeks, then I added a tablespoon of butter to my chicken. After a couple of weeks, I switched from chicken breast to chicken thighs. After a few weeks, I switched from low-fat yogurt to full-fat yogurt. I switched from pork chops to pork belly and bacon. And so I just very gradually over time slowly added in fats or swapped some of the foods I currently was eating for fattier versions of that food. Instead of having lean fish like tilapia and tuna, switching for fattier fish like sardines and salmon. Other options would be adding half an avocado to a meal, or adding some olives to the plate, or for coffee drinkers, putting some coconut oil or more heavy cream inside of the coffee. There's chicken skins, bone marrow, cod liver oil. There's a lot of different fat options, and I would personally ease into adding in fat slowly, because that way people can see where the tipping point is for how much fat is too much fat for that person. For example, some people, they go from eating a low-fat diet to doubling how much fat they're eating overnight, and they go, oh, nope, a high-fat diet isn't for me because I'm having lots of diarrhea, I feel nauseous, my stomach hurts, when if they were to slowly increase the fats, get their body to adapt and adjust to it better, they may not experience those negatives, but also they'd be able to see at what point is too much fat for that person. Everyone is so different and we all have different starting points. And so if you are wondering how you can incorporate more fats to your personal life, or if you're looking for a meal plan that's tailored to you, if you'd like more motivation and accountability on your health journey, then something like my coach Lillie AI I think would be a great service for you. You can try it for free for 7 days without even having to put a credit card down. And after that, it's only $90 for 90 days, where you can get unlimited meal plans, unlimited body scans, where using your cell phone, it will scan your body to see your lean mass, metabolic rate, fat percentage, and so much more. My coach Lillie AI is the clone of me put into technology, where you can get the same guidance, accountability, support, and answers to your questions that I would give if we were working together one-on-one. You can get it through my coach Lillie AI 24/7 texting service, where you just text a question and in a matter of seconds, you'll receive an answer catered towards you specifically. You'll find more information in the video description, as well as that link to sign up for 7 days for free. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you soon.